So do you find yourself wanting to achieve something awesome, but you keep running into roadblocks and pain and frustration, and you're thinking, why in the world is this happening? I set out to do something good, to grow, to learn a new skill, to be adventurous, to do something different and better. Why am I coming across frustration, pain, and roadblocks? It shouldn't be like this, right? Well, actually, it should be this way, because what you are experiencing is the process of achieving a breakthrough. And so what I want to do in this video is explain to you the 4 stages of a breakthrough and explain to you what they are, as well as why you are feeling this frustration, this pain, seeing these roadblocks. And I think once you understand the way it works, you'll be able to stick with it and push through whatever obstacles you're running into right now. So let me first of all explain to you what the 4 stages of a breakthrough are. And the first one is comfort. The second one is growth. The third one is resistance. And the fourth is the actual breakthrough. So let me take you through a journey of how all 4 of those stages actually play out in your life. And to understand how this works, I want you to imagine yourself inside a huge balloon. Okay, so you have this balloon surrounding you, and this is your comfort zone. And why do I call it a balloon? Because a balloon allows you to move inside of it, and it's a little bit flexible once it's, blown up. You can move inside of it pretty easily. It's flexible, and that means you can push against it. It'll bounce back. And I want you to imagine that you, as a person, are standing inside a huge balloon in order to understand this 4-stage process. So stage number 1 of a breakthrough is comfort. So comfort means that you are inside your comfort zone balloon and you're feeling pretty good. You're just the right size. You can move comfortably inside your comfort zone without any problems whatsoever. Things are going pretty good and life is great. But then you get this crazy idea to move into stage number 2, which means you want to grow. You want to become more than what you are right now. You want to do something different than what you're doing right now. And that requires some growth on your part. So as a result of growing, what happens? Well, your comfort zone is still the same size, but you start growing a little bit. And as you're growing a little bit, you start pushing against the walls of your comfort zone a little bit. Remember, they're flexible. I mean, you can push through them or push against them pretty easily when you aren't exceptionally large inside your comfort zone, but you're kind of just growing a little bit. So you're just pushing against the walls of that comfort zone a little bit. And there's a little bit of resistance, a little bit of uncomfortableness as you feel when you are learning something new, growing, doing something better. That's stage number 2, growth. Now comes stage number 3, which is resistance. Okay, and this is the biggie. This is the critical part to understand about a breakthrough, because resistance is when you continue to grow, you can continue to become more than what you were inside your comfort zone, which is still the same size as it was originally. And because you're growing now at a faster rate and you're doing more, you're really pushing against the walls of your comfort zone, and it's starting to push back. That's the resistance that you are feeling. Just like if you were in a real balloon and you started growing and growing and growing inside that balloon, the boundaries of that balloon are going to start pushing back. That's the resistance that you feel, the frustration, the roadblocks, the pain that you feel when you're going through this transition of becoming more and doing more. Now, at stage 3 of a breakthrough, this is where a lot of people give up because they don't like that resistance. They don't like it fighting them. They get to this mindset, as we talked about earlier, where it should be easy, right? It should be fun. But when you're pushing against that comfort zone and you are really growing and pushing hard, it can resist a lot, because the bigger that you grow, the more resistance that you feel. The bigger the roadblocks, the more pain that you seem to experience. And it's this point where people give up. But it's so important to understand that this is part of the process, that resistance, that pain. This is stage 3. The key is to stick with it long enough to get to stage 4. What's stage 4? Stage 4 comes about when you are pushing. Your comfort zone is pushing back, trying to resist, but you keep pushing, you keep feeling the pain, you keep doing more to the point where eventually you reach a point where you break through your comfort zone, the skin of your comfort zone, the barrier of your comfort zone can no longer contain you, and you break through, you burst through that barrier. And when you have that experience, when you do that and you push through it, then the moment you push through it and have that breakthrough, you sense it, you know it, because it starts to change your experience. Things that were hard, things that were roadblocks, things that were pain, suddenly become a whole lot easier, and it makes sense, and you can do them with a lot more ability, and it becomes easier for you. That's because you've broken through your previous comfort zone, and now you are in this bigger, wider space. And that is why it's so important to keep pushing. Now, at this point, you start back at square one. You're in your comfort zone, and you're feeling pretty good about it. You want to continue to grow from that point. But understand that stage 3 and stage 4, in between there, is where it's the hardest. And you might be going through that right now, but you've got to push through. So how do you use this? Well, the best way to use this is kind of analyze what you're doing in your life. Is there something that you're doing right now that you're trying to do better? You're trying to grow in some way, but you keep hitting roadblocks. You keep feeling frustration. You keep feeling pain. Identify, what is that? Where is that? Where are you feeling that? And realize that you're at stage 3 of a breakthrough. And if you stick with it and you keep pushing just a little bit more, it may feel like you can't give anymore. You can't push anymore. But do it. Push just a little bit more, because you're so close to achieving a breakthrough in that area of your life. Now, if you have a journal, write this in your journal. Write it in pen. Label it "The Truth About a Breakthrough." And this is an old Chinese proverb, which I think sums it up really, really well. It says, "The temptation to quit will be greatest just before I am about to succeed." That is a powerful mindset to adopt and to use, especially when you're this close to achieving a breakthrough.